Hey guys, in today's video we're going to take these craft panels that you can get on Amazon that are laser and CNC cuttable, and we're going to go ahead and make these out of it. This is a custom 3D portrait. I do quite a few of these and they're freaking awesome, and they always sell so good, and they're one of my highest priced items. I usually sell about $60 a piece. We're going to take you through the process of cutting, sublimating, and assembling these, and we're going to start right now. Alright guys, now we're good to go. Let's go ahead and show you how we're going to do this. First off, we're going to use AI to select the subject. And Photoshop does a really good job at this if your picture's remotely decent. Now, I noticed that there's going to be issues with the hair up here, so we're going to add that to selection. We're going to kind of manually just work on that. There you go. That looks good. That looks good. That looks fine. I think over here it's going to do some silly stuff. We'll go ahead and make sure we get all that. There we go. Beautiful. Alright. Got the shoulder, got the hands, got all that good enough. We are going to go ahead and do this, though. We're going to go ahead and get the bottom to do right. So we're going to hold shift for a straight line. I'll go ahead and do that. There we go. Now that looks really good. Really good. Now, what we're going to do to make this look right, we're going to go ahead and modify. We're going to expand this. And we're going to expand it 40 pixels to smooth out some of these little curves. We're going to expand it to get a softer outline, and then we're going to contract it by about 15 pixels to bring it back in. Now that's something our CNC router can work with right there, because there's not so many hard edges with the with that, so it should work pretty good. Cool. That looks super nice. Yeah, I think we're good with that. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and copy, paste, put that on a new layer, and there we go. Now what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and save this as a PNG first. Save as. We are going to save it. Let's see, we're going to save it on the NAS drive under the under CNC files, cutouts, and this is Tommy. So Tommy.psd, and we're also going to make a copy of this, and we're going to do this. We're going to do a color overlay so we can do our cutout from our CNC, because this is what we want to cut out on the CNC. So we're going to export that as a cutout. Tommy cutout. There we go. There's our cutout. Now we'll go ahead and measure so we know what we need to do with the CNC. Make it exact. So we know we're going to want this to be exactly. That's not right. 18 inches isn't going to cut it. We're going to have to get that a little smaller. Let's see. This gets us a little closer. We'll go ahead and crop that. Alright. Let's see. Instead of, we're going to do 300 DPI. And we're going to convert it and do it. I think we could do it like 8.5 inches tall. 5 by 8.5. Yeah. I think I'm good with that. We'll go ahead and save. Put our effects back on, and we're going to save it as a cutout. Tommy cutout. And we know since it's 300 DPI, it'll automatically do its thing. But for future reference, our exact size, we'll go ahead and measure it as close as we can. It's going to be somewhere around, I think they said 8.2. 8.28. So that's what we're going for right there. So we'll go ahead and import it. We're going to try to put it alongside this if it'll let us. Yeah, we'll save. Open. Actually, I'll forget how to do this. We're going to do an image trace. And we're going to trace CNC files, cutout, Tommy cutout. I think that's just fine. We're going to go ahead and do that. Okay. And the problem is it's going to be way too big, but that's not a big deal because we know it's 8.28. And that should be exactly what we are after. And we're going to put both of these on the sheet. So that's super duper cool. Anytime we can save material, that's always awesome. So again, 8.28, 4.36 is what we should have on the width. So we're going to take that point, 4.3. Yeah, so that's almost dead on. Now, when we do this, we're going we have a little bit to play with, so we'll rock that. Just in case, we're going to put a real thin outer stroke on it. That way, if we print it, it won't have a hard white line. It'll have a black line, which is a little bit easier to deal with. So we'll go ahead and go into Carbide. Gonna see what these settings are. Okay. There we go. We got both. Now what we're doing is we have an 1/8 inch end mill. We're doing 0.03 per pass, 1545 at 18,000 RPMs with an 1/8 inch end mill. Max depth on that material is 0.128. It should be slightly below the surface, and outside is what we're doing. Oh. Cutouts. There we go. Now we're gonna want to add some. Stuff to this. We're gonna have to add some tabs to her. So we're gonna put one there. Put one there. Put one there, and maybe there. All right. Now we have tabs. Now we are good to go. Now we can just go take this on the machine, cut it, sublimate it, and we'll be great to go. Alright guys, first step first, we're going to go ahead and get this thing secured. It's worth mentioning that there is a protective coating on it. So we'll go ahead and peel that completely off. There we go. I'll go ahead and just kind of plop them on down, and that holds everything nice and tight, and we're good to go. Guys, usually I do screen caption, but I don't have it on this particular computer. We'll go ahead and initialize our machine. Now, today we're going to be using our single flute bit to cut this stuff. It always works really good. Super good bit. I'll go ahead and put that in there. There we go. Go ahead and crank them on down. Nice and are good and tight. And all we're doing, we got it jogged and everything, so we can go ahead and run our file. And this is from OneDrive, so in theory, go ahead and sort by modified cutouts. Yeah, that looks like the right one. Let's go ahead and take a top look at it. That's it right there. Yep. G-code, ISO image. Yep, that's it. Says about 8 minutes. So we'll go ahead and get everything ready and get it going. Yep, we're going to go ahead and start job. Now it's going to touch off. We're going to use an 1/8 inch end mill, which we already do have in there. That's the single flute. Going to have them touch off. We got everything on the CNC hooked up. Let's go ahead and fire them up. Alright guys, now we're done. Now we can just unclamp everything. Alright guys, now that we have our pieces cut, we can go ahead and print our sublimation. I went ahead and combined both of these into one to fit on 8.5 by 11. And all we're doing on this, we're doing our standard print settings. Printer manages color. We're going to use Premium Presentation Matte on high. We're going to mirror the image, and we're going to do the ICM color management. But other than that, this is pretty straightforward printing. We're going to go ahead and print that and get that going. Alright guys, now that we have this done, we can just go ahead and just cut these out. We're just going to cut them out separate so we can do them individually. Should be very easy just to just line it up and tape it on there, and it should be good to go. First things first, we're going to put the paper down. We're going to give this a quick wipe just to make sure there's no dirt. If you have it, make sure you got your paper peeled if you're laser cutting them. You might want to leave the thing on if you're laser cutting. And we're going to be very careful lining this up. It's the most important part, is just making sure you got it lined up. Everything has to be perfect. You have to get everything perfect to get these to look right. Take an extra minute and line everything up. And it's really tough to be perfect, but once you get it, we're going to tape this is not where you want to spare on tape. You want to actually tape the stew out of it, because you done spend all this time making the blank and designing it. Don't let a piece of tape or two cause it to shift and mess up your whole project. So we're going to tape the stew out of it. And we're going to be very careful. We're going to flip it. And now we are ready to press. Alright guys, now our press is heated up. We're doing these at 375 for 75 seconds. And we're going to do them face up. That might be a little bit too much pressure, but it's okay. We'll make it work. Alright guys, coming up on 10 seconds left. Make sure you glove up, because that hardboard gets incredibly hot, and it's kind of terrible to try to do it barehanded. Hopefully we got a good press. Alright. As expected. As expected. It's hard to get them perfect, but that's as close to perfect as I think I've got, to be totally honest. That looks really nice. You can see the detail in it. That stuff does incredibly well. That's good stuff right there. And you can tell the alignment wasn't perfect based on my transfer paper. You can tell it wasn't exactly perfect, but I was within an eighth. Well, I was within a 16th of an inch of being right. So we'll go ahead and put this on over here. Now let's go ahead and get this next one done. So we're going to discard that paper because we don't want our print bleeding over. Now for this one, there we go. That'll work. If we do that just right, that'll work. Again, paper down so we can actually line it up. And we're going to give it a quick wipe just to make sure there ain't no dirt or nothing on it. And then we're going to just line it up the best we can. Again, try to take extra time, line it up as good as you can. Which is another good reason why I put that little black outline on there. To help line it up later. Because if you don't line it up perfect and you don't have an outline, then you can definitely see everything. And once again, we're going to use the tape very generously. Because, I mean, we spent all this time messing with it, so we want it to turn out good. We're going to pinch it, flip it, and we are ready to go with this one too. So we're going to go ahead and cover her up, and we're going to go ahead and press her too. We're going to give it a little less pressure, not much. And there we go. So we're going to do that for 75 seconds at 375 and see what we got. Alright guys, coming up on 10 seconds left. Let's see how this one did, and we should be good to go. My suspicion is it turned out just fine. There we go. Smells like a success. Oh yeah. Yeah. Look at those colors. Look how beautiful and vibrant that is. That's literally so good. Alright, so that's the last thing we're doing for right now, so we're going to turn the press off. As you can tell on the outline, I did a way better job lining that one up. The line's very uniform all the way around it. So I did a much better job on that one than the other one. That's probably as close to perfect as you can get, to be honest. Alright guys, now for assembly, really it's as easy as taking these printed pieces. If you have the right grooves cut out, that's not the right side, that's the pretty side. Now this one is made out of maple, purple heart, and it's got a CNC cut groove in there, just perfectly sized for this exact piece. So it looks nice and neat in there, and it looks really good. This one I couldn't quite get the arrangement of it, so I cut it just a little bit bigger than what it should have been. But this is walnut with I believe I used tung oil on it as a finish. And once again, you just slide the piece in there, and it just kind of sits there. And overall, the colors are fantastic. I mean, they're beautiful pieces. People love them, but assembly is really that easy on it. So overall, I mean, these turned out amazing. I mean, look at that print quality. I mean, that's just insane how that looks. Now, as far as these little wood bases, I make these out of locally sourced walnut and maple and all that good stuff. If you want, I can do a video on how to do it. You can probably find these at craft stores somewhere, something similar. I make my own out of raw wood. I feel like it gives it an extra touch. If you want, I can do a video on that. Just let me know in the comments what you want me to do. But yeah, this stuff is amazing. If you have a laser or a CNC router, this opens up a whole new window of possibilities for you. And I'll have a link in the description where you can find these. They're just a basic Amazon product. You can get 6 of them for about 25 bucks. Yes, it's expensive, but I mean the limits are it's limitless on what you can do with the product. If you found this video helpful, feel free to give it a big old thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more sublimation content. Peace, guys.